This hour brought to you by Wash Method, 690 St. Anne's Road, and at washmethod.com. VIP text will win a VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method. Coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza. Bring the team to Boston Pizza.
You sound nervous.
Well, Jim, I feel like there's moments
A little downtrodden and nervous.
I feel like there's moments in your career that you've been building up towards.
In your life.
Your life has been building up to specific moments. Becoming a father, getting married, graduating high school.
The inches you were looking for are all around us.
Correct. I feel like this is one of those moments.
But 1 second too quick, it doesn't happen. 1 second too late.
And I say that this is one of those moments because of the Olympic broadcast rules. Clearly, CJOB is not a broadcast partner of these Olympics. Clearly, anybody who's a hockey fan right now, anywhere in this country, at work, most likely, or at home, or wherever they're watching, at a pub, a bar, whatever, is tuned into this game, which is tied 3-3. It's heading into overtime. Nick Suzuki, with 3:27 left, tips the puck in, ties it up after Andre Palat, with 7 minutes or so left, puts the Czechs ahead.
You know why that happened?
We can't react online, live, to what happens in overtime, Jim. And that is the moment that I've been building up to. How professional am I when we have the Olympic lawyers breathing down our necks? Do I have the gumption, the professionalism, the beauty to be able to perform under these circumstances, to not react however this game ends in overtime?
Well, I think it goes without saying we lack the professionalism. But everything else, you might be bang on. We can say the score. It's going to overtime.
It's 3-3. Yes, it's 3-3.
And the reason Nick Suzuki tipped that goal in is because I was just bashing him in the newsroom.
You're trashing him the whole game. He was your whipping boy.
So it's interesting how I think we have a feel for how coaches coach hockey games. Not saying we know anywhere near what they do, but we often comment, and it's our job to follow along and see trends and all that. And I was like, this is real early to be double shifting McDavid, but they're getting nothing offensively from Hagel, Horvat, and Nick Suzuki. And then Nick Suzuki had that opportunity earlier, and call it homerish if you want, but he couldn't finish, and Mark Scheifele finishes that routinely. There was plays on the game today that I thought, man, if that was Mark Scheifele instead of Nick Suzuki, I think that play is made or that goal gets buried. But they're not getting anything from Sam Reinhart. They're not getting anything from Brendan Hagel. They're not getting anything from Bo Horvat after the first game offensively. And that's why when you're down or tied, they are rolling their big horses. John Cooper is extensively. Now, it's a one and done game. The next one is, so I don't mind you going that route as opposed to maybe in a game 2 of a series. I get this is different. You're going to ride them. But he went to that real early because they weren't providing anything. And Nick Suzuki, I think would be fair to say, he's trying to find his role. He's trying to find his comfort zone on this roster. And up until that game tying goal, hadn't done very much. However, that's all eliminated now, right? No one will question Nick Suzuki on this team for the rest of time.
Yeah, so the overtime format is 10 minutes of 3-on-3, and then it goes to a shootout.
10 minutes of 3-on-3, which is what I think the NHL should do.
So Kevin texts the show and says Seth Jarvis is going to be the hero. I don't think you're. I don't know if you're going to see Seth Jarvis. You might. For 10 minutes, I think you're going to have to roll out the whole lineup. But
they might not even bother with anybody other than McCarr, McDavid, and McKinnon.
I wonder who they're starting. Chico says you can do it, Poitras. I'm not so sure, Chico. I'm not so sure.
I appreciate Chico's faith in you.
I do, but I'm telling you right now, the Olympic lawyers, the Olympics are litigious folks. Now, believe me, they are tuned in right now to Jets at Noon to make certain that I don't screw up. Now, I got the sort of Damocles dangling over my head right now, Jim.
Now, I don't know too much about your personal life, but if you've ever had a safety word, we could come up with a safety word, and if something happens, we could say that word, and if something else happens, we could say the other safety word.
Chris isn't happy with the game so far. Canada, slow, no checking, no hits, errant passes. Czechs man-on-man coverage is so much better. Every pass or shot ends up on a Czech stick. Completely different game than the first time they played them. I'll give the Czechs that's for sure. This is exactly the style of game that they wanted to play. But
shall we say if one thing good for Canada was to happen in overtime, we could say like pineapple, and if one thing bad were to happen, we could say like cinnamon or tomato.
Okay, let's go tomato and pineapple.
Tomato and pineapple.
Tomato is bad. Pineapple.
Canada good. Pineapple. Canada bad. Tomato.
Okay. Check. Chris continues on here.
I guess we are professional because I just came up with that on the fly.
That's a good idea. That was good. You can't say that's commentating on the game live.
No, not at all.
You can't comment on that.
And to be fair, I think the people who do have the Olympic rights paid a couple dollars for it, like $12 or $13 to get the rights to do this.
Pineapple.
So if everybody wanted to share some pineapple, not on a pizza.
So Kevin texts the show and he says, you're about to witness the biggest Canadian hockey disappointment in history.
Well, Kevin, we'd like to buy you a pineapple. Kevin, you get one pineapple courtesy of us here at CJOB and the good people at Boston Pizza who will put that pineapple on a beautiful pizza for you if you want.
Yeah, and because of my incredible professionalism, I'm not even sure.
Now, next break, we can talk about this, right?
Well, I was told we had to wait 30 seconds. So has it been 30 seconds yet, Fortune? Have you been keeping a timer?
I mean, you can't spell pineapple.
10 more seconds, boys.
10 more seconds.
I got 10 more seconds.
Spell pineapple for us, Fortune, and then
I'd rather not. That's not my job duty.
Pineapple. Is that correct?
Pineapple.
Is there a silent G somewhere in there? So
I think there's a silent J.
So it's like gnocchi? Is it like gnocchi? It's like the
gnocchi? Did you do it for the gnocchi? I did. I did it for gnocchi. I love gnocchi.
Okay, Mitch Marner has scored in overtime. Canada's moving on.
And there's pineapples all over the ice here.
There's pineapples everywhere.
Wow, what a scare, though. But to the texter's other point
phone lines are open, 204-780-6868, 204-780-6868. Phone lines are open.
We are opening phones here for your reaction to Canada's 4-3 overtime win over Czechia in the quarterfinal. Now, to his point about Canada's most devastating loss, which I would presume this would be up there.
This would be up there.
The flip side of that is this has to be absolute. Find me a bigger loss for Czechia. Just an absolute gut punch, kick in the junk. Oh, never forget this loss.
See, now it's like you can say, you know what? Hey, this is the moment where you go, the Czechs have nothing to be concerned about.
What a backhand.
Hang your heads up high. You didn't lose. There's no losers here. Unfortunately, there is.
Mitch Marner, who plays for Team Pineapple, just split the defense, went to the back, and then roofed a backhand shot over Dostal for a beautiful game winner. Mitch Marner can't play in the big games.
He can't play. You know what? He can't perform.
Never shows up when it's on the line.
That's right. That's all we heard when he was a member of the Leafs. Wow. That. And they move on. And guess what? We all get to be stressed out again. Congratulations, everybody. Semifinals in a couple days. You get to be stressed out.
And Radko Gudas is talking to John Cooper like he's just like, whatever. He's dead inside, Radko Gudas.
Yeah,
I'm convinced. Like, I like Radko Gudas, but I think
love
he's
him.
dead inside.
He's one of those guys you want on your team.
He's a robot, yeah.
But he's a heck of a hockey player.
He's the one guy on the planet that would watch Steel Magnolias and not tear up.
Can we talk about Jordan Binnington? He stopped. There was a breakaway for the Czechs late in that third period, and Binnington again, man.
Yeah.
I know who's playing in front of him, but dude,
Radko Gudas, though, just no emotion, eh? Like he would watch The Notebook and be the one guy who's like, you should just cut bait, let her go, move on. That's Radko Gudas. I've been to Prague before, and the Czechs it's a hockey obsessed place. Yeah.
And
tell your story about.
Well, yeah, when I was in Prague, and I was just doing my walk around in Europe when I was it's winter of 2018. And they found out you're Canadian, and if they spoke English, bam, they want to talk about hockey. They just wanted to talk hockey with you the whole time. And like,
you bring
Blake
up-
Wheeler and, Andre Pavlik. I'd be like,
Andre
oh my
would
God,
be
you
a
want to talk
god,
about?
Would they? I mean, was Peter Nedved walking around? I'm a big Peter Nedved.
I said hi to Peter Nedved. He's just walking
Peter?
down the street. I
Good to see
recognized
ya.
him.
He
You
doesn't
see,
buy any.
when you're in Prague, you just see everybody.
He does not buy any Stella in Prague.
No, he doesn't.
He walks around Stella bill free.
Let's North End Rick texts the show and says, you guys are acting like you're a couple of Tom Brokaws. Screw the professionalism. This is as good as it's getting for you. Go full Stephen Colbert and tell us what's happening. Mail it in, fellas.
This is as good as it gets.
This is it.
This is your opportunity to shine, and you're letting it walk by.
Phone lines are open, by the way. If you want to call in 204-780-6868.
Could you imagine 8 months from now we're in court?
I've done zero.
Horace is being sued for $9 million. North End Rick would come to the trial for
North
sure.
End, well,
he'd at least sit in the auditorium.
In our defense, Your Honor.
Your
North End
Honor.
Rick told us this was as good as it gets for us.
Yeah,
So
Your Honor, look at them. They're both portly, out of shape.
haven't seen a treadmill in years.
They work in the media. They don't have a lot going for them. This was their time to shine, and you're taking it away from them.
They have no retirement. Their home's falling apart.
They'll be
They
working.
can't afford to keep it up.
They'll be working for me long after I retire. Give them this time of moment to shine.
Call the Boston Pizza Jetson Noon Hotline.
Yeah, let's
Open
get some calls.
24/7, 204-780-6800. Brought to you by Boston Pizza. Coming for lunch every weekday. The Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15 only at BP. Phone lines are open 204-780-6868. This texter says, hey, Cam and Jim. Imagine if Team Canada had a solid Canadian center that was top 4 in scoring for Canadians and top 10 in the league. Imagine
Well,
he maybe would have buried, had a couple of points, and things wouldn't have gotten as close
look,
as they were.
go on to win gold, and there wasn't one person that shouldn't be on this team. And if they go on, they go on to not, medal or get bronze or silver, this will be questioned forever. That's just the way it is in Canada. But I do stand by what I've seen from this tournament. I think Bo Horvat has his role. He got a couple points in the first game, but he's not there for offense. He's got to kill penalties and take faceoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I just Nick Suzuki to me was the guy that was Mark Scheifele.
Dude,
And now I'm not arguing Mark Scheifele because he tipped that goal in, but I told you in the second period when we were watching, this team can't score goals. They don't have enough offense.
No, there's not enough offense. Isaac says, hey, Cam and Jim, this is Isaac. Go Canada, go. Let's do it. Yeah. Of course, we'll find out when the semi. I haven't even looked ahead. When do the semifinals start? I'll find out about that. When do the semifinals
Well,
start?
you don't look at the semifinals when you're not out of the quarterfinals.
Well, that's exactly right. You're not focused on outside.
But we'll take your phone calls on this 780-6868. But I have seen moments in this Olympics and the games I've watched that I think Mark Scheifele would have thrived in. Now there could be other moments that maybe on a back check or something he would not have. You're going to question that. But today just stood out to me on the play. I forget what period it was, but Nick Suzuki, a glorious opportunity, one that Mark Scheifele routinely buries, routinely. And that being said, what a great tip by Suzuki, but Mark's good in that role too. You're always going to expect, but the other issue that we can look at here is way down the line of picking this team, not a priority at all, but way down the line is Nick Suzuki will probably be on Team Canada next Olympics and will thrive off this goal.
Yeah.
Will really use this experience to be even better in the next Olympics, and Mark Scheifele wouldn't.
Well, you know what? The thing is, these games always come down to moments, and people will remember these moments. Yeah. Everyone's going to remember now Nick Suzuki scoring that one late in the third period off a tip. Mitch Marner scores 3-on-3 overtime, weaves through 3 guys with a wicked backhand.
I mean, that goal in overtime
I just saw it for the first time in its entirety. Oh, my goodness gracious.
I mean, I was going to say there's not a lot of men on the planet that can score that goal, but the ones that are at this tournament. I don't think there's one person outside of this tournament on any team there or not there that could to split the defense that way and go top shelf on the backhand is just an outstanding effort and goal.
Kevin sent a disappointing text. He said about the witness, the biggest Canadian disappointment in history. He says, yeah, I texted that at 12. Sorry about that. That's okay, Kevin. I felt the same.
Well, and then flip side of this is Czechia is just absolutely devastating. I really thought Canada was in trouble, and credit to Canada for using their speed. but also a discredit to Czechia. They boxed out the front of the net in that second period. Unbelievable.
See,
and I just thought, man, Canada is going to be fighting it to get to the net in front of the net. And then
let's talk about the game the Czechs played, and let's talk about Sidney Crosby did not come back in this game. Yeah, we got
to mention that.
Let's talk about that. 204-780-6868. Let's take a break. Let's come back on the other side. Sidney Crosby's out. Canada moving on to the semifinal. They're going on Friday. Times haven't. I think we have to wait till the Swiss right now are leading the Finns 2-0. Sweden has to play later on. So the semifinals, the semifinals have not been set yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But Friday, let's take 2 game times, 9:40, and then there's another one at. So we could be playing this at this time, or the same time as the last one.
But we're having a free-for-all Wednesday. Give us your thoughts on Team Canada. Josh Morrissey didn't play, although it looked like he may have. And then Sidney Crosby's out too. Mitch Marner's a hero. Nick Suzuki's the other hero who tied the game.
And there's also an expectation for Josh Morrissey when we come back. I'll tell you what that is. Don't go anywhere.
At noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
If you're on the line, don't go anywhere. We'll get to you right after 12:30. Steve texts the show and says, glad to see Canada won. Do you think it will come down to Canada and the United States for gold? But they can only play the United States in gold because States were the second seed, Canada was first. So depending on, Switzerland, it's still to be determined who Canada will play on Friday.
Yeah, the lowest seed. So there's still 2 more games. Swiss advanced today over Germany. No, Swiss is playing Finland.
Slovakia
advanced. So it would be the lowest seed that comes advances. Yeah, Slovakia is one in top 3, I believe, top 4. So we'll see if Finland, Switzerland, America.
Yeah, so it's to be determined.
The U.S. is the second seed. So
so they can only play. They'll only play the States if they get to the gold medal game. If the States, of course, has to get there.
And isn't that what everybody wants anyway?
Let's talk Sidney Crosby, how the Czechs played in 3-on-3 overtime. We'll discuss that. And if you're on the line, don't go anywhere. We'll get you right after this. This hour brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road, and at washmethod.com. VIP text to win a VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method. Coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio. Boston Pizza for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. We've got a call on the line. Let's get to Jack. Hello, Jack. How are you? Thanks for calling. What's on your mind, man?
That was wild.
Yes.
That was wild.
Yeah.
You know
it
what?
was wild. Catch your breath, right?
Like Bennington, they should just put him in for big games, eh? They said that breakaway, that 3-on-3.
Yeah, with a
unreal.
$1.10 left or whatever. Yeah.
He might be the goalie that you bring out at the end of regulation just for 3-on-3.
Yeah. On a local note, like the Seth Jarvis, bringing his 6 friends into the games.
Yeah.
That was such a nice story as well.
Yeah, it was a great story. Anyways, hey, thanks for calling, Jack. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for calling. 204-780-6868, 204-780-6868. Jim, do you want to?
Well, the other thing I was going to say is this was just a phenomenal hockey game.
Yeah.
Like it was end to end. There was 7 goals total. There was great goaltending. It was just a really, really good, well-played hockey game.
Sidney Crosby out, did not return, was seen in the hallways limping. How big of a blow was that when he didn't come back?
Yeah, and I think that's what, to be honest with you, I think that's what Radko Gudas was talking to John Cooper about after the game when I was making fun of him being dead inside, no emotion. He just lost the game. But I think he actually went over and was, because I think he didn't, lay the hit. Crosby tried to pull up from the hit and his knee sort of went underneath him, and then Gudas followed through. I believe that was him in the game. But that's a classy move by Radko to go over there and still emotionless.
Yeah.
But to talk to John Cooper like that. And
he's a gamer.
And put on his things. But Crosby going down is, there was so many situations. And ironically, it was Suzuki that was bumped up to that line for him to sort of go and take the spot of Crosby in the second period. But when he went out, this isn't a game. Why this is ominous to me is this isn't a game where you're like, okay, look, like, don't risk anything at all, and we'll see the next day and then come back. This is a game where you're like, if you can go at all, we need you. We need to go forward here, and he didn't come back. So that's why I think it's a little ominous. David, you're joining us on a free-for-all Wednesday, talking Team Canada on 680 CJOB's Jets at Noon. Go ahead.
Okay, well, oh my Lord. Was that not the game, or was that not the game?
There's still more. There's 2 more left, David. It's
I know,
a lot of fun. It's getting worse.
Congratulations to the speed skating girls on gold.
Yes.
I love the bobsledders getting the puck in deep. That's beautiful. If you do not think that the hockey is the premier sport there, well, this is why.
At the Winter Olympics.
Why.
Oh, for sure. And
unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And had everything you want in a great game. Everything. That's just, aside from Crosby leaving, let's hope he's okay. But at the end of the day, man, you can't ask for a better hockey game.
So Josh Morrissey, too.
Really good game.
Josh
Really good
Morrissey
hockey.
was really, really working hard out there earlier today. So the expectation is on Friday that he will find his way back into the lineup. So that's...
Well, thank God. Not just for the Jets, but for Team Canada as a whole.
Yeah.
You feel bad for the guy in the Four Nations, and then to see him get, tweaked, you're just thinking, God, geez,
Yeah.
So, no, great job, guys. Great job.
Thanks a lot, David.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want a car wash? I'll give you a car wash. You want a car wash, David?
Beautiful. I'm going to take my word because it's so romantic.
Yes.
A ticket. Yeah, that's right.
As Tesla said, David, love will find a way for Team
And Jim-
Canada and you all the way to Wash Method.
Jim has not commented yet on mine. If you're going to go find us, thanks a lot, David. I'll pop you on hold. Has not commented yet on my 2002 gold medal winning Canada jersey.
Yeah.
This is
I
my
have
dad.
one of
This
those,
was my
actually.
dad's, and I'm wearing it today.
Nice. Your dad's.
Yeah,
I
inherited
have
it.
one of those. I got that as a gift in 2002, and they put my name on the back of it.
It says Toth.
Yeah.
You weren't anywhere close to that team.
No, that's why I
You
don't.
can't wear it. It's ruined.
No. Yeah. But back then, you used to put your own name on jerseys.
Oh God.
But it was a gift. It was a great gesture. But yeah, I rarely wear it. I have it.
no.
I have it at home, but I don't wear it because it has and it has my number from college on it.
They ruined
which
it.
is even.
It was such a nice gesture, Jim, but they made it certain that you could not, you could never wear that.
The buddy of mine who gave it to me was like, "What was out of the blue one day?" He's like, "What was your number in college?" I'm like, "That's a random question." And then I told him, and then months later, he gave me this gift when he was moving out of town. We're basically almost roommates who work together and stuff like that. And then he was like, "Oh, here's a gift I got you. See you later."
And I put Toth on the.
Put Toth and my number on it from this is awesome. And I turned around, I'm like, I can't wear this. I wasn't on Team Canada.
Jeff, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So Crosby, whether he plays or doesn't play, look at it this way. Every single one of the forwards on Team Canada are the go-to guy on their NHL team. They are the man on every one of their teams. So our depth is undeniable and unconquerable. And I love to be proven wrong. When Suzuki missed that open net in the second period, spiteful me said, Scheifele wouldn't have missed that.
I felt like
that's what I said.
Jim and I were watching the game, and that's literally exactly how we felt. How many times, Jim said this, and he's totally right. How many times have you seen Scheifele bury a goal from that exact spot this season alone?
Well, exactly. And that's why
10
I'm so
times.
happy that Suzuki tied the game.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, you know what? We'd be a whole different conversation if he missed that yawning cage and then didn't tie it, right?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jeff. Appreciate the call. Yeah.
But I also love stories like that. I love stories that, he's trying to find his way. He hasn't been terrible or god awful, but he just, it doesn't look like it was, much like Kyle Connor, right? With Team USA, we talked about that yesterday. And then to get a goal like that, it can really solidify him. And I'm happy for Suzuki.
Steve-O texts the show and says, not sure what I think of the 3-on-3 OT at this stage of the tournament, but I do think Canada is unstoppable in it with that speed and firepower. Look who won the game. Young, fast players. It was beautiful. Listen, if you're Czechia, you do not want to get that game into 3-on-3 because you battle through it. Listen, that was the game the Czechs wanted to play. They got the lead in the first period. Okay. Then we're going to box out and we'll try and spring our players through transition off the rush.
Yeah.
Get a goal, get one that get an insurance marker, put us ahead after McKinnon scored, right, to tie the game. Literally what the Czechs wanted to play, and they were doing it fantastic. You couldn't hold Canada. The teams are Canada's just, talent-wise a better team, but the Czechs, 3-on-3, it just felt like, they had opportunities. They got guys they can go to, but it's just not, it's not on the same level.
And I think that, they had their opportunity. The Natchez breakaway and
Yeah.
it's 4-2. This game is over. When
Yeah.
it was 7.5 minutes left and they go up 3-2, it was, not good, but I didn't think this was over by any means. But Czechia had their opportunities, and if they bury that one, this game is over. I don't think they're coming back and scoring 2 against them, but the last 4 or 5 minutes would have been epic pressure, and then maybe they get an empty netter, who knows? But that's what makes a great hockey game. Like, it was everybody's game. There was lead changes and tying games, and Canada finally gets the lead with the overtime winner. But I just thought it was a fantastic end-to-end hockey game.
John text the show. He says, it looked to me that Czechia targeted Crosby. They're more physical than Canada. They were the underdogs and weren't as afraid of penalties. Took it to Canada. Canada, I think, held back physically, more afraid of penalties. Otherwise, I think they could have been more physical. Canada might have fared better in regular time.
Well, you're probably not wrong, because if I'm coaching Czechia, I'm like, do not back down, be physical with them, get them off their game. Like, that would be part of my game plan. It wouldn't be to just skate with them. It wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be just to keep them to the outside, because you're not going to be able to keep them to the outside. I'd be like, every chance you get, make them pay, be physical, get in their face, and don't take risks.
Yeah.
Let the game come to you offensively. So...
yeah, I mean, that's just the way it's going to have to be. 204-780-6868, 204-780-6868. Give us a call. Chris texts the show. He says, good wake-up call, though. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to go through this in the tournament, and they just blew through the preliminary round. I mean, this Czech team that they took it to 5-0 earlier on. I mean, the first game of the tournament. I mean, just a night and day performance from them. But I mean, everybody would always say this. I mean, you have to go through games like that.
Was it Natchez? I forget which Czechia player said yesterday or the day before.
It was Natchez, Martin Natchez.
When the schedule was set, and he said, we know we're not going to beat Canada twice.
Yeah.
So they gave him the first. Now, he didn't give them, but they're like, the idea of, it's kind of like the Miracle on Ice speech from Herb Brooks, right? When he's like, you play them 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to beat us, but not tonight. Like, this is your moment. And so you've already lost to them, and it was a 5-0 shutout that you lost to. And that's where I think Czechia deserves a lot of credit, because they were not only better, but they were really good against Canada and almost pulled it out.
Yeah, no, got to hand it to them. There's no doubt about that.
Lucas Dotzel was absolutely amazing.
He was incredible.
He's a really pending superstar here in the National Hockey League, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. 204-780-6868, 204-780-6868. Let's go back to the text line here. One of my favorite quotes of all time. I don't think that has nothing to do with a text message. Bill says, or with the show that's on. Bill from St. James says, all alone in OT. That's called a Springsteen save. That one on Jordan Binnington. Billy sends that. This texter says, I'm a big Morrissey fan. I watched the game and I wondered how he would be doing out there against a team with a lot of size and speed. Morrissey would have fit right in.
This was the type of game that I think Morrissey would have excelled at. It was fast. It was end-to-end. There was a lot of defensemen pinching, but it was also good defensive positioning play. Like, I really think that watching this game, and I thought that Morrissey would really excel in a game like this.
Teresa said, just got my breath back. Are you worried that Canada didn't win by more? No. No, I'm not.
I'm not. And I look, I don't buy totally into, like, I think you want to be at your peak as much as you can and be getting better every game. But I think the way they came off the France game and advancing, the way Czechia came out and got a 1-0 lead and then 2-1, they needed to win, don't get me wrong. And it was touch and go there for a bit. But now that they've won, I think this really solidifies them to, they weren't really challenged. They beat Czechia 5-0. They hammered France 10-2. It just, the Swiss was the game that it was. Nino Niederreiter has a goal, by the way, for the Swiss when it was 2-0. So he scored for the Swiss. But I just think that, you get into these games, you have a team that has absolutely nothing to lose in Czechia. You already lost 5-0, blah, 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 to this team. You had the other team that had absolutely everything to lose. And that's what I thought teed up for a good game. But you get that challenge, right? You get that push. You're down 1-0. You're down 2-1. You're down 3-2. And then you find a way to win. It's kind of like no coach would want to draw it up that way, but it's not a bad thing that they were challenged this way at this point of the tournament.
No, I think that's exactly. I mean, you listen, you're going to take a win whenever you can get it. In any fashion, and especially in a tournament like this, in the knockout round where, like, as you can see, anything can happen, right? A team that was that had to take it to comes back and responds like that.
And this is great for coaching too. Like if they come in, they beat Czechia 5-1. Say today they beat them 6-2, and it's the exact same as it was in game 1 of the tournament. You take this tape, though, going into the semifinal, and you're like, these two lines, we need this from you. We need more of that from you. This is where we got exposed here on this and stuff. Like, you can use that going into the next game to be even better. I think that a game like this, A, you needed the win, but B, you get this sort of footage and tape to sort of point some things out and get even better going into the semifinal.
This texter says, Cam, what are you talking about? The Czechs lost that game. Canada barely survived. Hopefully Canada can put this one behind them and move forward.
No, I thought Canada was all over them. I thought Czechia in the second and third period, when they looked dangerous or they got opportunities, it was off Canada's speed and rush and forecheck into that end, and a turnover would happen. I didn't see a lot of... I want to give Czechia credit. They defended well in the second and third period, but they didn't create a lot, and it was a lot of Canada's speed and wave after wave. And that's why I was wondering, John Cooper was double shifting McDavid real early because they weren't getting anything secondary from the other player. But I didn't think Czechia lost that game. They had the leads, but that's because they capitalized on the opportunities that were created.
Yeah, I mean, the shot clock...
Canada, I thought, was wave after wave after wave.
The shot clock was 41-24.
Yeah, I mean... Czechia didn't lose that. Now, that sounds weird when they had 3 leads. But they took advantage of the few opportunities that they were given by Canada. Canada came at Czechia in wave after wave after wave. But that being said, Czechia defended really well, and their goaltending was exceptional. So that's why I think it was a really good end-to-end 200-foot hockey game.
They bought in big time. But no, I did totally disagree with you. No, Canada was the better team, but the Czechs played hard. They played real hard. Mr. Chance, get your thoughts on the show today. Call the Boston Pizza Jetson Noon hotline. Open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Brought to you by Boston Pizza. Coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice-cold drink for only $15. Only at BP. Well, who's Canada going to play on Friday? Well, there's a couple options. We'll go through them when we come back. Don't go anywhere. 204-780-6868.
And Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Apparently, Elliot Friedman on the broadcast, according to this texter, said, I need a cigarette.
That was pretty good. Pretty good hockey. Pretty good hockey game. I highly advise against smoking.
I do. It's not good for your health.
It's a cigar at the golf course once or twice a year. That's about it.
Yeah. First time I saw my dad smoke is, again, I'm wearing the same jersey. It was in 2002 after Canada won gold.
Jersey?
Yeah, he had a cigar. Yeah.
Left you in the car with a bag of chips.
I feel bad about that because my mom sent me out and says, "Go tell your dad not to smoke." And then I went out there and was like, Mom, don't smoke.
The Olympic hockey memories.
And that's my biggest memories. I went out there and my mom was like, go tell your dad not to smoke. And he's having a cigar. Canada wins gold. Big deal. Now in my mind, I'm like, Mom, lighten up. Cut my dad some slack. That's what I look at it now.
When you bring up the 2002 Olympics, I just moved to BC to cover the Western Hockey League. And I got in a car accident. And I was off for my first sick days ever. I was in my early 30s. My first sick days ever was a car accident. I had cracked ribs and a broken nose. And my furniture hadn't arrived for weeks. It kept being delayed. So I'm literally walking around my apartment because you're supposed to walk and keep loose and stretch. And I had 2 lawn chairs. And the buddy who ended up giving me the jersey a couple of years later when we moved was sitting in the lawn chair with me. We watched the 2002 Olympics.
No.
But I remember that jersey. That's my Olympic story from back then. But your dad wanted to have a butt. Let him have a butt, man.
Yeah, my mom's riding him. Geez, Mom, cut him some slack. This guy just wants gold.
The beautiful family memories.
He just wants to have a cigar, and my mom's using me to go and give my dad crap. I wonder why their marriage didn't work. 204-780.
Can we get a psychiatrist on the show, please?
So I don't think Canada, now correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't think we can play Slovakia because Slovakia finished as the 3rd seed.
Yeah.
So regardless of the States or Sweden winning, right? If the States wins, then they would play Slovakia. And if Sweden wins, then Canada would play Sweden because they would be the lowest seed.
So Sweden is the lowest seed left that has to play. Yeah. So if Sweden wins, they will play Canada in the semifinal.
Yeah.
And then if Finland finished for the winner of Switzerland. So if Sweden wins their game, it will be Sweden. If Sweden loses their game, it will be either Finland or Switzerland.
Yeah.
So
That's
those
right.
are the three countries Canada could face on Friday. Either Sweden, Switzerland, or Finland. And the Swiss are going into the third period up 2-0.
2-0, yep.
Nito Niederreiter has a goal.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me Nito Niederreiter.
I'll tell you what, give me fuel, give me fire, give me Niederreiter. It's a Wednesday. It was an epic hockey game. I got a show coming up next. We're going to go to a local establishment to see if this game was nothing but a good time.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go have a cigar. Thanks, Mom.
They're going
See you
to
later.
have a cigarette. One cigarette to celebrate.
Why not?